Hi, this is just a look at how you can use Meet to do online lessons with Google Classroom and some of the tools and how things work. So on the right hand side of the screen I've got a test student that I've added to my Year 12 chemistry class. On the left hand side you've got me as a teacher. So we both go into the same class and you'll see the same sorts of things there. You'll see that the teacher has a Meet link and the student has a Meet link. The teacher has some controls over that Meet link. So if you click on the cog and you can see Meet, you can reset the Meet link at any time or hide the Meet link from students. If a student tries to click on the Meet link before the teacher is in the Meet, you'll see that you can't join that Meet. So if the teacher joins the Meet or starts the online lesson, I'm just going to turn my mic off there because I'm recording through my microphone my whole screen at the moment. So I'm in the Meet now. The student can now click on join. Mute the mic there as well. So now the lesson can begin and the students are in there. So if we just go through a few things that you can do and some of the controls that you have. So as a teacher you get this padlock symbol, and if you click on that, this is where you can prevent students from sending chat messages if you don't want them sending chat messages. You can also prevent them from sharing their screen, and you can also turn off what's called quick access, and that prevents random people from joining the meeting. So if, for example, a student shared a Meet link from Classroom with somebody else, then if you turn that off, they won't be able to join unless you explicitly let them in. So normally it's fine to have that on, but you might want to, certainly with some classes, consider turning that off. You can also, if you click on the people thing here or mouse over an individual, you can mute them. This individual's already muted, so they're muted. And you can also kick them, so you can remove them from the meeting. Now this is like removing them from the class. They will not be able to rejoin that meeting until you explicitly re-invite them. So you have to invite them to that meeting, otherwise they will not then subsequently be able to rejoin that meeting. It'll just say you don't have permission to join this meeting, and that's quite an important point. If you want them to come back in, you need to send them a meeting invite. Other things that you can do, you can ask them to raise their hand. So they've got the raise hand option, and you'll see a little icon appear, and if you click on the list of people in the Meet, you'll see that an individual's also got their hand raised, and you can lower them as well, and it comes up, the host has lowered your hand over on the student's screen. The sorts of things that you might typically do could be to present your screen. You might want to present your entire screen or a window or a tab, and that could be any resources, or I typically use Jamboard, which is an interactive whiteboard app. This is one that I was doing yesterday, a lesson about redox potentials with Year 13 chemistry, and you can see one of my students is actually looking at it right at the moment, and you can scroll through this and you can go through your notes and things. On here I've actually pasted in some exam questions, just taking the screen grab, dump them on, and then you can write on them. You need something like a graphics tablet to do that, or a touchscreen device, or something with a stylus. So Jamboard is really good. You can also open up Jamboard from here, so you can just open up an impromptu whiteboard app which everybody gets access to. This is also where you can record the meeting, which might be useful if you want to do something and then you want to allow students to review it, and then you can post it on Classroom. That's also where you get access to your general settings, so things like noise cancellation and all those sorts of things. At the end of a lesson, what you should get the students to do is leave the meeting. They will normally naturally do this, and in most cases that will happen. If somebody doesn't leave a meeting or won't leave a meeting, you can just ask them to leave the meeting now. That's the simplest thing to do. Then you can kick them, but remember, you will need to then explicitly re-invite that person for the next lesson. They will not be able to just rejoin that meet if you kick them. Kicking is like, you're not allowed in this lesson, so you can remove somebody. So if I just close that as a student, I've now left the meeting as a student, and if I leave this as a teacher, then what will happen is if the student re-clicks on the meet link, it says you can't join the meeting, and they can't join it because you're not there. This only applies to the link in Google Classroom. If you put a link or make one as a calendar entry as a teacher and then share that link, they can join that meeting at any time, even if you're not there, and that's something to be very aware of. Hopefully that's reasonably clear. Any questions, let me know.